Hi, and welcome to this video where we're going to explore the answer to the question, how is intelligence related to academic success? In times past, intelligence was the deciding factor to academic success, or so people thought. And today we'll kind of look a little deeper into just that relationship. So in the first part of this video, we're going to be talking about what we mean by intelligence and how we measure that in the traditional sense. So how that traditional definition will factor into academic success. Then we're going to look at the concept of multiple intelligences and how that's going to be related to academic success. Of course, we've got to look at mindset and the relationship between mindset and academic success, and even how mindset might be related to intelligence. And then we're going to be looking at self-regulation and social engagement and how that is related to academic success. And lastly, we're going to see how this applies in the real world. So when we look at traditional tests around intelligence, it was really built around this idea of how can we measure the person's ability to reason, to problem solve, and to retain to memory, right? Retaining information, spinning that information back. And in part, those were three crucial factors in the way learning and education systems were structured, right? Lectures. So professors giving a lecture based on their research, they're giving out this knowledge. You've got to process that information, you've got to remember it and hold on to it. And then how can you think through that, apply rules of logic, understand that, and all of those typical things that we would do, reading, taking notes, that was all measurable, or psychologists figured out how can we measure a person's ability to do those things. And because even in the modern world, that really does factor in to how well you can do in a traditional setting, because schools haven't changed a whole heck of a lot at the time. And IQ became a really determining factor in saying, oh, somebody with a higher IQ is going to be more likely to be able to solve problems and memorize things and learn those kinds of information. A few decades ago, a new theory began to come about. This is this idea that there are actually multiple intelligences. So it wasn't just about somebody's skill set around their ability to reason, to remember things, to process information, those traditional measurements for IQ, problem solving. But they began to look at there are really geniuses in other areas, music and dance or athletics, right? So there are these ideas where people were really good with other people and connecting with people. And the psychologists began to say, wait a minute, that's a type of intelligence. That's a type of skill set that some people are just, born with. There's certain characteristics with it. Yes, you can develop it, same way that regular intelligence is not fixed. You can expand on that. But you were more inclined and gifted in that particular area. So this idea of emotional intelligence and musical intelligence and these multiple intelligence came about and evolved to give us a better understanding of people's natural inclinations and skill sets that just suited who they were. One of the fundamental factors of a growth mindset that helps define what a growth mindset is the belief that intelligence is not fixed, that we can improve our intelligence, we can improve those skill sets, those abilities to reason and hold on to memory, and all of those things that we're going into measuring intelligence, like problem solving. That very belief about that improves your ability to do that, right? So when you believe that you can improve it, you are more likely and more inclined to take on the processes that you need to do to develop those skills. So mindset, growth mindset in particular, having that right mindset is going to be highly influential in your ability to develop any intelligence, but in this case, that classic intelligence that measures those skill sets that are really conducive for classical education and learning. But you can apply that to any of the other intelligences as well. Now, to what extent you can develop that skill set, that intelligence, is determined by all kinds of factors, right? Nature and nurture. So you're seeing how those will interplay. But the bottom line is that growth mindset with that belief that intelligence is not fixed, it can change, is instrumental in being able to improve that and then find more academic success as you improve the intelligences related to being able to have success academically speaking. So self-regulation of your behavior is going to be crucial in being able to develop your intelligence, right? When you are in control, when you're self-regulating yourself, you are taking ownership and ability to deal with what your beliefs are, what your emotions are. You are adding stability to your life. You're taking control of all those different things that will factor into your ability to improve and grow and make those new neurological connections, the things necessary if you want to improve that intelligence and those skill sets, whichever intelligence it is that you're seeking to improve, so that you can achieve greater levels of success. And this will also cross over into that whole social aspect of it, right? When you have a good social network, when you have people that you're relying on, helping you, hold you accountable, pushing you along, supporting you, picking you up when you fall down, so to speak, that social network is incredibly powerful in your ability to persist in the face of setbacks, right? Which you will have. And that network, that support system, oftentimes can be a difference maker in whether you make that growth, achieve those goals that you set for yourself, or not, or whether you tend to kind of give up on yourself and fall back into that trap of negative thinking and letting your emotions take control. So there's a definite connection between that self-regulation and having that social kind of support system and support network. Yeah. For a real life example, I want to tell you the story of David Karp, who was the founder of Tumblr. Now, David was not successful academically by any stretch of the imagination. He dropped out of high school at the age of 15. His intelligence, in terms of traditional intelligence, would have been average at best, but he was highly successful. Tumblr, the social media platform, was bought by Yahoo for 1.1 or something like that billion dollars. So what was the secret to David Karp? Well, all these things we talked about with like growth mindset and being able to think outside the box and connect with people and technical skill set, right? He could understand the technology that would go in and what the consumer wanted, their needs, and how to blend those two. That ability to see those things and think through that and create the platform to do that required a level of intelligence that wasn't necessarily measured through traditional academic and intelligence kind of tests. And I don't know his specific test scores and all, right? But we do know that he struggled academically, and he didn't shine in any of those testing standards that were typical in getting in public schools today. I encourage you to subscribe to our channel, check out all our other videos, visit and take a look at my podcasts as well. I think you'll find those enlightening. But you also might be interested in registering for our free webinar, Emotional Hygiene. So you can find the link to that in the description of this video. Go there, register for that, take that, and I will see you in the next video.